CBS2 News starts now.
Welcome to CBS2 News this midday. This is a live look at downtown Boise as our next storm system is moving through the region. Now here's a look out at Indian Creek Plaza this afternoon. We're going to take a look outside and we're going to see how that snow is coming down in Indian Creek Plaza right now. It's starting to snow pretty heavily out there in Indian Creek Plaza. You're starting to see some snow there on the streets. The forecast does call for 2 to 4 inches here in the upper Treasure Valley, so be prepared for that. Now, here's a look at radar. You can see that band of showers is right on the I-84 corridor. As you can see there, Canyon County, where Caldwell is definitely getting hit. Hasn't quite hit here in Boise yet, but portions of southern Ada County are getting some snow at this time, so we'll continue to see that. The heaviest snowfall between 10 a.m. this morning and 2 in the afternoon. We do have weather advisory to get you in the know of. That portion in the pink is a winter storm warning in effect, 2 to 4 inches for the upper Treasure Valley, including Boise, 3 to 6 in the lower Treasure Valley. We'll see up to 6 to 10 inches in the mountains with high wind gusts of up to 20 or 45 miles an hour. The area shaded in that purple color. 6 to 10 inches in the mountains with 2 to 4 in the southwest highlands with wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. And it will be, you'll see some blowing snow out there, so be careful. Now here's a look at current temperatures across the region. Ooh, we're starting to see that snow there on the Boise cameras, moving its way in slowly. 26 degrees here in Boise, 21 in Nampa, 19 in Ontario. We're 26 degrees in Mountain Home, and we're -2 in McCall. We're going to see a high today of 24 degrees in McCall, 29 in Idaho City, and 22 in Baker City. Now, here's a look at oh, looks like my graphics. Oh, here we go. Here is the next weather maker. So this is what we're dealing with. That snow, it arrived in the area to portions of the east. At 9 a.m., we'll see the heaviest snow, as I mentioned, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We do have a winter storm warning in effect through Friday, and I'll have more on that coming up. Well, watch out for de-icers and snowplows out there as we head into the evening with the snow and cold weather continuing over the next couple of nights. The Ada County Highway District is hoping to prevent snow and ice from building up. The district reminds drivers that safety is a shared responsibility, urging them to give plows space, reduce speed, and stay alert for changing conditions. It's also a good idea to make sure vehicles are winter ready before heading out. For those who aren't comfortable driving in the snow, you should just stay off the roads. That's your safest bet. For real-time updates, follow ACHD on social media. We're taking a live look at Capitol Hill this midday. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will take the reins at the Department of Health and Human Services. The Senate confirmed his nomination along party lines. He faced an uncertain confirmation process over some controversial stances, none more than his long professed vaccines criticism or skepticism, Democrats say he's unfit for the job. RFK convinced Senate Republicans that he's not anti-vaccine and says his focus at HHS will be on making America healthy again. Boise police asking for your help to find a stalker. A man was caught on camera twice after attempting to enter a home near Boise Avenue shortly after the occupants left. The first incident was last Saturday and the second was on Monday. Police are working to locate additional cameras that may have a clearer image of the suspect or a possible vehicle. If you have any information, please contact Ada County Dispatch. Boise police would also like to remind you and your neighbors to keep your doors locked and report any suspicious behavior. More legislation making its way through the State House today. Up for consideration on the House floor, the bill to create a minimum fine of $300 for marijuana possession of 3 ounces or less. They'll also discuss a Senate bill that would prevent Idaho from enforcing any World Health Organization mandates, another bill to prohibit Idaho from enforcing any medical mandates, also a Senate bill to establish provisions related to foster home health and safety requirements, and much more. Some changes being made to a bill that aims to give parents money if they enroll their kids in anything other than a public school. After being heard on the House floor, it was sent to the Senate Local Government and Taxation Committee. The presenter of the bill argues that this bill will not take any money away from public schools.
We have a constitutional obligation to fund our public education system, and we're not going to shy away from that. That hasn't changed. That's not going to change.
But many in the committee are concerned that the current proposal doesn't include some basic accountability standards that public schools have in place for the money they get, and that money could be misused.
My understanding from the bill is that the only way to look at kind of how funds are used in detail would be if the tax commission chooses to audit a family.
What safeguards are included in this bill that would prohibit private schools that would receive funding via this refundable tax credit from discriminating based on religion or special education status?
It is up to the parents. So nothing that schools currently do would be altered or changed in that regard.
Since the vouchers don't cover the full cost for private schools, some argue it only benefits families already wealthy enough to take their kids out of public schools. Now to the State House, a bill to put conditions on Medicaid expansion is on the House floor next after debate in the House Health and Welfare Committee. If someone wants their Medicaid benefits expanded, the bill requires them to work, train, or volunteer at least 20 hours a week. It also caps the number of enrollees to the number of seniors and people with disabilities in the state. It will only allow people without disabilities 3 years of Medicaid in their lifetime. Republican Senator Jordan Redmond says this will help those who truly need Medicaid while cutting costs.
This is an entitlement program. So at some point, if we can't afford it, it comes from somewhere else. Is that education? Is that, roads? Where is that? Where does that come from? Is that public safety? So if we don't have sideboards in place, again, it's a fiscal time bomb that is bound to go off, and it's going to hurt Idahoans far more than trying to find solutions ahead of the game.
Those opposed worry this would effectively end Medicaid for thousands, and the lifetime limit could create problems for those who do truly need it. The majority of the testimony is against the bill.
What I heard a lot of today was, let's do it the Idaho way and let's let Idaho decide. And I would like to suggest to this committee that Idaho has decided. They decided in 2018 when they passed by a large majority to implement this in the first place. They have decided when there have been multiple attempts to repeal Medicaid expansion, and they have decided today, the written testimony that we got, there was 115 who do not support this, and there were 2 that did.
In the end, legislators were split 8-4 and 7 against, so the bill now moves forward to the House floor. President Trump says he would like to close the U.S. Department of Education using an executive order, but acknowledged he would need buy-in from Congress and teachers' unions to fulfill his campaign pledge to do so.
Oh, I'd like it to be closed immediately. Look, the Department of Education's a big con job. We're ranked, so they rank the top 40 countries in the world. We're ranked number 40th, but we're ranked number 1 in one department, costs per pupil.
Trump would like the states to have a more prominent role in their curriculum. His education secretary nominee, Linda McMahon, is preparing to go through confirmation hearings. Last week, Trump told reporters he'd like to see McMahon eventually put herself out of a job, but it will take more than an executive order. Congress would need to pass legislation to shut down the department. Governor Little talking about his plan for Idaho education on News Talk KBOI. Following the president's push to shut down the Department of Education, the governor says he doesn't worry for Idaho.
We'll be fine. We get our share of the money back. Special education, there's some things we need to provide for those kids, the opportunities, but some of the ways they say we have to administer it are very cumbersome and expensive. If we can take care of those kids, in an Idaho-like manner, rather than in a dictates from the Potomac River, we'll be way better off.
A look at recent funding. 8% of the West Ada School District's 2023 to 2024 school year, over $34 million for the Boise School Board District, around $29 million, and the Nampa School District gets around $8 million every year. The districts are waiting to hear from state and national leaders on what the elimination of DOE means for this kind of key funding. Parents and public teachers gathering on Capitol Hill today in defense of the Education Department. The rally comes ahead of Linda McMahon's confirmation hearing today to serve as Secretary of Education. If confirmed, the WWE executive is expected to carry out President Trump's stated goal of closing the Education Department. Rally goers are also voicing concerns over an executive order Trump signed last month, shoring up taxpayer dollars to subsidize private school tuition. Here's Independent Senator Bernie Sanders.
They want to privatize virtually every public service in this country. They want to privatize Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and the Veterans Administration and public education. They want to use taxpayer money to support private schools so that wealthy kids can get a discount.
McMahon's confirmation faces opposition from the nation's two major teachers unions. Republicans, meanwhile, support her selection, saying she understands how education can fuel the economy. Well, coming up next on CBS2 News is Midday, improving lives one tooth at a time. We'll share the story of an Idahoan who brings smiles to people's faces wherever he goes. And it's time for our question of the day today. But first, let's look at yesterday's question. Sales of this item dipped by 30% during the pandemic, and they haven't bounced back since. What was it? Well, the answer was gum. And now for today's question. According to the Greeting Card Association, 1 billion cards are sent every year for this holiday, making it the second biggest card sending holiday of the year. What is it?
This is CBS2 News Midday.
Welcome back. Your time right now is 11:14. One local dentist is changing lives, not just here in the Treasure Valley, but around the world. Dr. Tristan Galloway, a Northwest Nazarene University graduate, has dedicated his career to those serving in need. Andrew Vincent shares his story.
Well, Dr. Tristan Galloway's journey started right here in Nampa, but his impact reaches far beyond Idaho. What began as a college service trip turned into a lifelong mission of providing dental care to people who might not otherwise receive it. Whether in his Nampa practice or on the other side of the world, Dr. Galloway's goal is the same: to help those in need.
Over the years, we've done a lot of local and international dental missions, outreach, helping people. And what I realized early on, especially in Central America and Mexico, was that when you had a medical team and you had a dental team, those dental lines tended to be really long compared to the medical lines.
Galloway first saw this need during a 2006 service trip with Northwest Nazarene University. That experience led him to pursue dentistry at the University of Southern California, where he continued mission work in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico.
A lot of people deal with tooth pain on a day-to-day basis, and being able to help those individuals get out of pain can really affect other aspects of their life.
Since earning his dental degree in 2010, Galloway has led outreach efforts both abroad and in his hometown. He provides free care to undeserved communities through local clinics and continues leading international dental missions.
Being in the valley here, the community that we have around us, being able to know our neighbors, being able to help our neighbors, being able to have those relationships.
For Dr. Galloway, dentistry is more than a profession. It's a way to serve others.
Life should be about helping others, serving others, being aware of those around us as individuals and as people and as those that have needs like our own. And so just being very aware of our neighbors and trying to be attuned to their needs.
So as Dr. Galloway continues to make an impact both in Idaho and across the globe, he's proving that small acts of service can create lasting change. In studio, I'm Andrew Vincent.
All right, let's take a live look from on top of our CBS2 studios here in downtown Boise. The snow has made it here downtown. Let's take a look at those roads. Starting to see a little bit of accumulation there, those roads, as that snow is coming down. We'll continue to see that heaviest snowfall from around now until about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now here's a look at the current temperature outside right now. We are 27 degrees with winds coming from the southeast at 25 miles an hour. We're seeing some gusty winds. That dew point is 21 degrees and it feels like 12 degrees. So when you walk out this morning, you're going to want to dress for that 12-degree temperature. Here's a look at current wind speeds right now. We're seeing that wind speed of gusts of 25 miles an hour here in Boise, 17 in Twin Falls, 36 in Mountain Home. We're seeing a wind gust of 6 in Ontario and 15 for our friends in Baker City. Now here's what we can expect. As you saw, that snow, we'll expect that to continue today. We'll see a slick evening commute. We'll also see blowing and drifting of the snow as we do have those winds out there. We'll continue to see that snow tonight and into the day tomorrow, some scattered showers. Now here's a look at that next weather maker. Let's take a look at that current precipitation chance. So right now we're starting to see that slowly hit the I-84 corridor, and as we move that to this afternoon, we're going to be well underway showers here in the lower Treasure Valley and in the higher elevations. McCall and Stanley also seeing some snow. As we move it along to a little bit later this evening, we'll see some scattered showers, but then we will see it start right back up again overnight as we'll have some showers around 4 a.m. so that morning commute might be a little slippery as well, just as it is for the evening commute. Now, for the evening commute tonight, I should say. Now, let's take a look at our extended forecast for the Treasure Valley. We're going to see a weather alert day today. We're going to see possibly 2 to 4 inches here in the lower valley, 3 to 6 in slightly higher elevation in the mountains. We'll see possibly 6 to 10 inches of snow. We'll see periods of snow in the forecast for tomorrow. We'll see a mostly sunny day on Saturday. We'll see periods of rain and snow on Sunday with a high of 40 degrees. As you see, the temperature will start to slowly climb back up closer to that average temperature. We'll see periods of rain on Monday. Mostly cloudy conditions on Tuesday with a high of 40 degrees. We'll see periods of rain and snow and a high of 41 degrees. Our friends in the mountains will also see a weather alert day today. Today we'll see a high of 18 degrees with snow in higher elevations up to 10 inches possible. We'll see periods of snow tomorrow in the forecast, and we will see partly cloudy day on Saturday and periods of snow and unsettled weather for the next week. Well, still to come on CBS2 News this midday. All right, coming up, we're raising awareness on mental health issues and Boise School District's efforts to lower them.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
This is the Zippy Sweeper Pro. It makes cleaning your floors simply easier. This is a rechargeable, cordless, lightweight sweeper with a triangular design that makes it easy for getting into the corners and under cabinets and chairs. It features a 360-degree omnidirectional cleaning so that you can go in any direction. And it also has bumpers on the side. And this is great because it keeps your walls and your baseboards scuff-free. This works on carpets and hard floors, and it can pick up so much. It gets hair, crumbs, wet vegetables, and more. And honestly, if you need to clean up a quick mess, this is the way to go. It's lightweight, it's easy, and when it's fully charged, you get 30 minutes of use. I keep one in my kitchen, but my kids don't mind using it either, so they have one upstairs so they can quickly clean their room. It's great for dorm rooms, apartments, honestly, anyone looking for a simple way to clean up a quick mess. And right now, we're offering 46% off the Zippy Sweeper Pro. That means you're saving $60. So head on over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer and get to cleaning.
This is CBS2 News Midday.
It's 11:24. Welcome back. Well, mental health improving in the Boise School District. It comes as the district works to expand their mental health resources. Now the district says they'll put their focus on refining mental health programs and prioritizing staff well-being to ensure educators have the support they need to foster a positive learning environment.
I'm just really encouraged that we did listen and that we do have a strategy, because teaching is a thankless job for a large part of the time. You don't get that feedback. You get those children for 1 year and then they're gone, and you don't necessarily get a hug from every kid who leaves you. I loved you. You did a great job this year. But their well-being is important to the health of our district.
They say depression statistics and social isolation, the two things they targeted the most over the past 2 years, are both going down. Though they say social isolation numbers are still above the national average, and they plan to continue to reach out to students in need. Now it's time for our question of the day. According to Greeting Card Association, 1 billion cards are sent every year for this holiday, making it the second biggest card sending holiday. What is it? Well, it's Valentine's Day. Our next newscast is today at 4. We'll continue to monitor that weather, and we'll update you on your local news and weather on idahonews.com. Have a wonderful day and stay dry out there.
Take the news with you on the radio. News Talk KBOI. And for news and information 24 hours a day, click on idahonews.com. Watch for our next local newscast on CBS2 today at 4. Connect with CBS2 for your local news and weather on idahonews.com.